Well, hello. It's a pleasure to be with you for my TBC Live broadcast. My name is Stephen Tyrone Cuffey, and it's a pleasure to be with you all for another quest to doing my TBC Live broadcast that stands for the Billion Coin. Now, this is my 317th live broadcast today since I started back in March of 2018. And for you know it, it'd be a year me doing broadcasting and quite a lot of other broadcasters who are referred to as the voices of the Billion Coin, that refers TBC. Now, I'm a voice. I'm also one of the leaders in the community around the world, TBC community around the world. And I'm the leader of broadcasting in terms of how many broadcasters that I've done. Did I set out to be the leader? No. I just started doing broadcasting every day. But I want to first give thanks to my lovely, my wife, my loved one that's always here supporting me. And my little Kayla, who I know is watching me, as well as my little one we call Butterball, that her real name is Caitlin. But I also have some great friends that mean much to me as well. That's always, and there's some beautiful women that always watch me, when they can. And they'll watch me today. And I thank all of them for being there, for sitting there and watching me. I love all of you, the kids, everybody. These are my family, as far as I'm concerned, okay? That's where it is. So let me just say this. I want y'all to listen closely, all that's here, all that's here. Let me see if I got anybody else. There should be some more people coming in, because sometimes people come in later. I know I got my brother Sharif and Shohag from the Bangladesh community. They support me almost practically every day. They do wonderful broadcasts. The Bangladesh community are great people. Okay. All right. Now, Randy Wilson went over this broadcast today. I'm going to do the same thing. And I suggest this is a very, very good, to the point broadcast to point out what the elite is doing, this thing called government is doing, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. And I want y'all to listen very closely as I go over this incredible blog post that TBC admin presented to us. And just put yourself on mute. So hey, I'll be with you after I do this broadcast. I like to save that to the end, okay? All right. Now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do a screen share. And I'm gonna go through all the blogs of today. This one right here is saying it's 2019. Are you aware you are about to lose all your freedom? This was done today by Randy. Okay, there's a very good chance that this broadcast, after I finish, may be up there by today. Is it possible? Is a very great possibility. Okay, because I'm going to really hit home on some points as I go through it. Okay. All right. He did a wonderful broadcast, by the way, today on the same thing I'm going to be talking about today. Okay, this one right here says airline pilot captain has joined TBC community in Bangladesh. Okay, please watch this. This is an airlines captain. He's joined in Bangladesh. Wow, this is incredible. Great news for the Bangladesh people. Even one of their airline pilots have joined TBC. Okay. All right. These are new broadcasters that show importance of reading blogs and attending Sinbad meetings. Okay, this is all in the country of India. Okay, I'm not going to click on this YouTube link, but you can click on the YouTube link actually, because then Beto said it's turned off, so they couldn't actually show show it on here on the blog. But I haven't left this YouTube link, so you can click on it. Okay, great job. I always point out, sure, go through the blogs, but just not read the blogs. Be a student of the blog and attend all Sinbad meetings like I do, folks. Okay, 80 grains. Okay, this is actually 80 grains is a little over $200 in US dollars. 80 grains of gold. A transaction that Mba Derek, my brother over in Cameroon, is doing with one of his countrywomen. That's is one of his cash flow students, and is sharing partnership in Cameroon. This is a great video. I saw this great video. Both of them talked and spoke very well. Great job that they're doing over in the country of Cameroon, which is in the continent of Africa. Okay, another one. Imagine TV stores like this appearing on every street corner in the world. This is a great broadcast that all of you should watch as well. Okay. Okay. This was look like oh, this is Darren Haywood's. This is Randy Wilson, my brother over in California. But this is he was just playing Randy's video from yesterday. He went through a few of ours yesterday. He does that often in his broadcast, so you can hear it. I could play these videos, but you just can't hear it through my computer for some reason. Okay, it says historical messages are very important to hear and understand. We do that all the time in our broadcasts, of course. Okay, this is the one here that I'm going to go over, folks. This is a great blog post, and I want y'all to listen closely. Okay, listen closely. And I want to think, when y'all listen to this, think about something that you probably don't pay a lot of attention to, because y'all not into, a lot of people are not into politics, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes in your government that has may have effect, but indirect effect on you, some direct effect. Okay, all right. Now, as you see in this poster, it looks like a pyramid, doesn't it? There's a big eye at the top, isn't it? Huh. Do you know that's on one of our I don't know if it's a dollar bill, $5 bill, whatever. Okay, I won't go into that one, but let's keep going. All right. The poster shows domination control as you go up the ladder, up this pyramid, and the wealth and resources go upward. And it goes downward to all these people underneath you see, which is us. Okay? All right. And let me open this up a little bit so I can go through it. Okay. And I want to thank everybody for being in our chat area. Okay. I see my wonderful sweetheart right there. All right, let's go. The year is 2019, and here we stand at the cusp of great change globally. The financial system known by the previous 5 generations and it is in its final stages of total collapse. Upon its final breath, humanity could be facing its darkest hour. And folks, we're going to be talking about humanity here. That's and what one government has impacted humanity. Okay, and we're going to show what the solution is. Okay, and I'm not talking about their solution. Okay, all right. Some have worked vigorously toward a great financial reset to provide a soft landing within this transition from a completely fiat-based system known let me read that again. Some have worked vigorously toward a global financial reset to provide a soft landing within a transition from a completely fiat-based system back to a gold-backed system. And for those that don't know what fiat is, that's paper money, paper currency. Okay. Within this brief window, of change comes the opportunity for the ruling class elite to firmly establish their new world order of a one world government. This is a warning to all of humanity. I'm going to say that again. This is a warning to all of humanity. The elite must fail now to set up a one world government, because if they succeed, it would be the end of freedom. I'm going to say that again. If they succeed, it will be an end of freedom. Now, folks, let me just stop there a minute. Now, think about that for a moment. If we allow the world to be under one world order of a one world government, look how much a massive control would that have all of mankind, speaking of humanity. Okay? Keep that in mind as I go on. Most of humanity today has a reasonable amount of freedom, yet the fiat-based system has enslaved humanity to debt. Debts in large part that were not incurred by the individuals. All of the governments have created vast debts over the last 100 years, and their citizens are expected to carry out those debts. So while most of us are free to choose our professions, free to raise a family as we see fit, and free to travel to a certain degree, the burden of these debts weigh down on us and have a very negative impact on our lives. These debts could be the excuse used by the elite to start a global war when the plug is pulled on the entire banking system. What will the people do when all the banks are closed? How would companies be able to operate without access to the bank? What happens when paper money suddenly becomes worthless? How long can humanity sustain itself in such a dark time? The elite have planned this scenario for a very long time, and they have planned to introduce a one world government as the solution. How would a one world government impact the freedoms you choose today? And folks, let me just stop right there a minute. Folks, think about this for a moment. If we did not have banks, if they just put the plug from the banks, and people go to banks for their money, for loans and different things, different financial services. But think about this for a moment. Think about this for a moment. We're not the only one that depend on banks. Companies depend on that for as well to sustain themselves. Okay? Without banks, companies cannot run. And these companies are companies that control all facets of our life, such as transportation, such as grocery stores, such as clothing stores. All type of companies depend on banks just like people do. So that would be horrific. That would be a terrible thing. But see, this one world order government, they will get in there and control everything like they're doing right now. Okay? Let's see, I keep on going now. The short answer to that question is that ultimately it will completely destroy your freedom as we know it. Now, isn't that true, folks? I'll keep on. It would lead to every aspect of your life being controlled by the government. A government that puts its own interests above the rights of the individual. total slavery. And notice admin capitalized total slavery. I'm going to read that last sentence again to hit home. A government that puts its own interests above the rights of the individual, it is total slavery, folks. Now, we're not talking about the slavery that you've seen in maybe books and things of the sort. You know, I'm talking about total world slavery. That would be horrible. I'll go on. Why? See, there are some questions of why here. Why? Why would a one world government lead to total slavery? The answer is because of its nature. The nature of government is force. Force, people, force. Governments are run by men. So what is the nature of man? Many things have changed over thousands of years, but the nature of man has remained the same. When it comes to a man, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That sums up the nature of man. The few that rule the world today do so in the shadows and therefore don't have complete and absolute power and control. They have great influence, but that's it. But that is it. Power is broken and divided between many nations and peoples. There is ongoing conflict between these nations as they struggle for greater power in the world. This is necessary friction that allows freedom to survive. The more friction there is, it says the more friction there is, the more freedom exists. Power struggles are very important. A one world government would be the end of the power struggle. We the people outnumber, I'm going to say this again. We the people outnumber the few ruling class elite by at least 1,000,000 to 1. We do have the power to overcome the elite and their evil plans. You see, folks, the power is in our hands as people. That's what it's saying here. I've said that in previous broadcasts. People outnumber the ruling class, folks, by 1,000,000 to 1. Okay, let me keep on. Almost 250 years ago, a new kind of freedom was born when the American colonists declared their independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. These colonies won the Revolutionary War and then set up a republic under a constitution. The Constitution separated the powers of government into 3 branches, which allow friction to occur between these separate branches as each seeks greater power over the others. Wow. Before this kind of government was formed, most governments had total power over its people and ruled with an iron fist. Consider the known history of the last 5,000 years. Why has there been more technological advancement and progress for mankind in the last 200 years over the previous 5,000 years? Simple. Freedom. Freedom has allowed mankind to advance in ways that we're inconceivable before. When government is busy fighting with itself, it allows people to enjoy freedom. Constitutional type governments have spread all over the world ever since the American Revolutionary War, and the result has been greater freedom. This is much better. It says this is a much better world to live in today compared to 200 years ago and before. Yeah, that's telling the truth. If y'all done your history, that's a true statement. I'm gonna go over the last paragraph now. A one world government would quickly return humanity to live under an iron fist of tyranny. Freedom would disappear from Earth. We all must resist the deception that's coming from a one world government will solve all the problems we face today. Yes, the current financial system is collapsing, and there are no guarantees that the global reset will result in a smooth landing for all of us in this transition. TBC, what's known as the Billion Coin, offers an alternative. The faster we build 1 billion members the better, because the world is changing fast. Now I'm gonna read this last two sentences, and this is something I really want to hit home on right here, folks. It says an educated billion people. It did not say ignorant a billion people. It did not say just a billion people. It didn't say a hungry billion people. It didn't give it no other word but education. An education billion people working together to spend the message about the truth of abundance on earth with a currency of its own is the real solution. And that right there, folks, I'm going to say that, I'm going to stop right there for just a minute. That is what we are doing in the Billion Coin. We are growing to a billion people, but those billion people are going to be educated people working together, unified, aligned to spread this whole truth to humanity, abundance to humanity. Not scarcity, not greed, but abundance for all. And only people, a great number of people can do that. So a solution, the last part, it says a solution that should lead to a greater freedom. Now, I'm going to come out of this. What a powerful, powerful message that admin just educated us on. Okay? Whoa. Whoa. What an incredible, credible blog post. Think about that for a moment. A one government, a new order, one world government, which would take all the freedom from all of us that we want right now. Do we want that? Of course we don't. Do we offer the Billion Coin as a solution? Of course we do. That's why one reason why we're building to 1 billion members, folks. Because we are not a coin with a mission. We are a mission with a coin. When we talk about making millionaires and billionaires, it's not for us to be greedy. Now, it's quite natural for a lot of us to memorize or have in our head a sense of greed, because we want to take care of our own bodies, our own household, our own kids, our own bills, everything that we own. We want to make sure that's functioning proper. So I'm not beating people doing those things, having jobs and those type of things, because you got to survive. Okay, but it's important to know that you cannot go your entire life. If you want your freedom, we got to be together in the Billion Coin to work towards our billion people, because it's 7.5 billion people on earth, and we want to be one of those billion people. We can impact the poor. The poor. We can impact the poor. I mean, we can impact so many people around the world. But we have to do it in a systematic, educational way to grow our numbers. It said an educated billion people. That's what it said in the blog. The Billion Coin is a solution. Make sure that we work together on that solution. And that's my message to you today. All broadcasters should go over that blog post today and go over it with a sense of authority, because we as people can make a great impact if we want it to be that way. And we got to have it that way, or you're going to allow the governments overtake us. Their system is already broken, folks. It's been proven that. Here in the United States, they had a shutdown, and now threatening again another shutdown. It shows that it doesn't work. They're trying to use that as power. Doesn't that take away people's freedom? They can't pay their bills. They can't eat properly. Perfect example of what we just went through for a whole month. And they're back at work now, but they're threatening again. So thank you so much. I'm gonna give anyone that wants to come in now for I'm gonna give, before I get ready to end, anyone who wants to come in now, anybody from Bangladesh, anybody. You know, they click on the thing, they click on it. It could be my loved one, she want to come on, that whoever wants to. I put the link up there. Anyone can click on. Okay. You know, now's the time. If anybody wants to actually come on, is the time. At the top of the chat room, if you click on that, just make sure you click out the actually watching the video on YouTube, so it won't have an echo. You won't hear me talking twice. So if you want to come on now, now's the time before I end this broadcast, because I'm pretty much done for my broadcast today. Okay. This is an awesome blog post the admin put on. This is one of the best I've seen. It showed in that pyramid exactly where all the power is going, and how the power is controlling the people right underneath that pyramid. It showed it right there in the poster. Great poster, admin. Great poster. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to have anybody. I had someone come in, but he disappeared. But it's okay. I want to thank everyone, my loved one, for always supporting me, and you know who you are. And also Miss Kayla, and also Butterball, and my dear friends, for always being there for me. Love you all. Y'all have a great day. Peace, everybody.